I finally have the new tires on the old rims of my 96 F-150 XLT, which you guys can hopefully see. Look through the dirty window. There it is down there. And I want to stud these tires that are here. So I have 4 tires to stud. This is the spare, which I will not be studding. So that I can use it in the event that I need it in the middle of summer, that I can still use this out on the road, and it's just not going to match and everything, because I plan on getting another whole set of tires and rims and hubcaps and everything in the spring. But I don't really have any plans on driving this truck out in the snow. This is just if I need it, if I have to get it to work for some reason, that it's there, and something happens to my car, that I can take the truck if need be. So that's why I kind of want to stud these things. So these are Cooper tires. Cooper, they've got the snow groove in them, and they're Cooper Discover M&S. So these are pretty aggressive tires. There's a lot of tread there, probably approaching a half an inch, I think. But these tires have the holes in them to stud them. One here, one there, one here, one there. They kind of crisscross. Nothing in the middle that I saw right here, but what I want to do is stud these things. Now, I will say, this is not cheap. The stud gun that I have here, it's an STUM 10G. It's a Model 10 Auto stud gun. It's made by the company SG. And here's what the thing looks like. Now, should I tell you? Yeah, I'll probably tell you guys the price here. This gun, this thing that is right here, this air tool, this thing was $419, and I still can't believe I spent that much on this thing. But I figured it'd be, I don't know, $30 to stud the tires on these things. I'm not real sure about that. But there's, I think, roughly 100 studs in each of these tires, so there's 400 studs. And I also want to buy a second set of tires and rims for my car. So this stud gun will be studding at the bare minimum 8 tires. So we'll say like $20 a tire. So that's almost $200 to stud those. So I'm halfway there to just paying for the stud gun. So I figured I would just try this thing out, do a review on it, and see how this thing works. But it's made by the company SG, so I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that company before. I have not. This was all the stuff. This was all that was in the box here. Just a parts number and a blown up diagram of this gun itself. So this isn't something I'm going to be using a ton, but when you need it, you need it. And living here in Western Pennsylvania, it'd be nice to have some studded tires. I've never driven out on the road with studded tires, but we will see, I guess. So I've already put a 1/4-inch quick disconnect in here with some Blue Monster pipe sealing tape. And the studs I'm using are right here. So these are actual studs. These are not the screw-in ones that you would have in that some other people put in. These ones, once they're in the tire, they will not come back out, because this tip here goes in the hole, spreads it, puts the stud in, and then it releases, and the tire holds the stud in. And it's not the screw-in ones that I've seen other people sell. So let's try this thing out and see how this thing works. But the studs go in here, down, and then they just go right into the tire. So I've got the air compressor aired up, so let's get to studding these tires. To use this thing, you grab one stud, which is what I have right here. Grab one stud and you just drop it down inside. And then all we have to do here Put this thing in the hole. Push kind of hard, and it put the there's the stud in. Pretty simple, and just because that's basically what's happening. So yeah, they work pretty neat. So I'll do the rest of these tires, and you guys saw how I did one, and now we'll do the rest of these things. But I'm not a professional at this. I don't ever claim to be one. I just like doing stuff myself. But you got to push pretty hard on here. And it doesn't take too long to do this. To stud these, this is not a auto load. Some of them have like a, I don't know, a 50 or a 100 round mag that's in there, but those tires are studded. They look pretty good. This will give me a lot better traction on ice and stuff. So I'll put this thing on a time lapse, and you guys can watch me stud these tires. Now that I kind of have a system down here to stud these tires, I figured out it takes roughly 20 to 30 minutes to stud one tire. Now, on every lug of this tire, so every block square of the tread, there is not always a stud. There's probably only about 50% of this tire, maybe actually less, of this tire that is studded. So obviously, if you have more studs to put in, it's going to take you more time to stud these tires. The tires I was looking at for my car, there is literally a stud, maybe even 2 studs per lug on the tires I want to buy for my car. So those ones will take significantly longer, and there might even be 200 studs that I have to put in for one tire. So that's just kind of the way things are, I guess. And it's not, it'd be nice to have the full automatic loading thing. That would be really nice to have, but you know, how often am I going to use this thing? Here's what all the studs look like in the tire. They look pretty good. I will say adding some of this Palmolive dish soap, I know this sounds really weird, but it provides a little bit of lubrication in between the tire and the stud gun for the these pieces here to slide in. So I'm impressed with this thing, and it seems to work. And these are the proper studs. They're not the screw-in ones, so these ones should never, ever, ever come out again. So I really like this thing. It works good, and it's this SG stud gun works as advertised and as it should for a whopping $419. So with me just studding roughly 8 tires, I think it'll pay for about half of it. So in the future, I'll be able to use the stud gun for other tires and stuff that I want to stud. I never thought about you studding farm tractor tires or the garden tractor tires. I could do those also, but pretty sweet. I am very pleased, and hopefully my truck will go good in the snow if I ever need to take it out in the snow. You can buy this thing on eBay. I know I'll say this, and I probably won't follow through with it, but there'll be a link to the stud gun down in the description and or comments, and there'll also be a link to the tire studs themselves. These are a number 13, and whenever I bought these tires, there was a big sticker on here that said what tire stud to use, and that's what is recommended for these tires. Well, I just finished studding all 4 of these tires. They are all done all the way around, and I checked to make sure that I didn't miss any spots for studs. But I'll tell you, that stud gun works really good. I would highly recommend using some Palmolive or some sort of dish soap to make the studs slide in a lot easier. But this stud gun works. This thing works pretty good. I am quite impressed with this thing. I made sure I oiled it up a bit because it's not going to get used for a little bit of time. Make sure you oil this up the very first time you use it, and I think they say every hour afterwards. I went every half hour or every 20 minutes, or what you could do is just oil it every tire. So every tire you do, you oil it. Now I also want to say this stud gun does not use very much air. I think the compressor maybe kicked on not even twice, maybe 1.5 times per tire. So it really doesn't use that much air to stud the tires. But here's the air compressor. It is not this big monster green one. It is this little boss stitch over here that I have hooked up to the reel. And that works great for studding those tires. So, well, there you go. There is studding tires at home. And I'll show you the studs, the box that they came in. So this is the box. These are Grizzly Grip, crampon, spikes, and studs. So these are SCTSMI13, 1,000 pieces, and wow, they even give you the batch number. So that's what I bought. Oh, and those right there were another $90. So, or 419 plus another 90 some. So there's over $500 in just those two pieces right there. Well, there you go. That is my review of the SG stud gun. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and we will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.